All right, here we go. We're live on Facebook. We're recording on YouTube. Good evening, everybody. It's your girl, Anaya A. And sorry that I have to readjust these beads once again, but you already know what time it is. It's your girl, Anaya A. And we are here for our Economic Crisis Initiative. It's another beautiful Wednesday. And we have the team that's here with us live. And tonight we're going to be discussing some great information. And particularly, it's a follow-up in regards to last week's conversation where we discussed Black businesses, Black ownership, and Black banking. And our brother L.A. Robinson, aka Mr. Larry, shared some great information, but that was in part, started by the conversation we've had with the Honorable Dion J. Powell, MPA. So we're gonna let all the ladies go first to introduce themselves, reintroduce themselves to you all. Then we will talk to you guys about owning and investing and all of that great jazz. So ladies, I believe Mama Brenda is unmuted already. Are you there, Mama Brenda? And don't forget, guys, share on all of your platforms. And I'm doing that right now. Mama Brenda, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Wonderful.
I pray that everybody's doing okay and having a wonderful and blessed day. I am Brenda Dock, and I'm associated with National Action Network in the membership department and the crisis department. And what else? I don't know. I'm all over the place. That's what I do.
Thank you for rejoining us again. Harlem is checking in. David, join us tonight. We have some great things to follow up on. Thank you, Mama Brenda. Now we have Miss Darlene Armstead. Sister Darlene, are you there? All right. Well, as we wait for Sister Darlene to unmute herself, let's jump into Miss Mimi's vision.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for having me here, Anaya. Sorry I can't turn my video on today. It's just super hectic day, doing a million things at once, but I'm happy to be here. We're like almost at a year. Yeah. It's been almost a year anniversary since you started this thing, Anaya, Economic Crisis Initiative. I'm so happy to be here. Anaya, as Anaya said, I'm here in Canada. I'm in Toronto right now. And yeah, I have a background in law. I am an entrepreneur, currently dealing with artificial intelligence in the cryptocurrency space right now. Connected a lot of people to this technology that has changed people's lives. I'm more excited to talk about this at another time, but for now, my mantra, I'd like to, introduce myself as positive mental attitude. I think it's such an important factor in success. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks again, and I look forward to connecting with everyone here tonight.
Absolutely, Mimi. And you're a vital part of this because you were here from day one. This is Mimi's forte, and I'm so happy she's here. Well, Mimi, we will be talking more about the AI thing in just a moment. But for now, we have back with us Miss Sancha Etienne. Welcome back, Sister Sancha. Do you want to unmute yourself or share who you are and some great information, please?
Greetings, Naya. It is always a pleasure to hear from you, be on the same space with you. It's always a pleasure. My name is Sancha Etienne, and I am a community organizer with the Black Alliance for Just Immigration. And I'm glad to be here and be listening to what's happening tonight. So I'll be here.
Thank you so much, Sancha. We appreciate your presence. And let me just say, Sancha has a wealth of knowledge, doesn't she? I was so shocked last week, right, Larry? We were like, wait a minute, Sancha knows all of this? ETC, ETJ, HPD3, whatever. We're going to talk more about that crypto thing in just a moment. Welcome, welcome, welcome. David McFly Mims is back with us live. We're going to let Larry introduce himself, and then we'll let David jump in. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, so once again, I am a treasurer in the National Action Network, and just an all-around financial enthusiast. So I just want to keep it short so everybody can get their introductions in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Larry, because he has a lot to share this evening. Now we're going to jump into Mr. David. And last but not least, we will have the Honorable Dion J. Powell. Go ahead, Mr. David McFly Mims.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Dave McFly Mims. You know, I'm a person in the community. I do work, you know, with the NAN Youth Huddle, you know, just being involved with the, you know, community. Also work with other organizations, you know, addressing like, you know, the gun violence and stuff like that going on within the community. You know, just trying to be a part of the solution, still being a part of the problem. You know, that's just mainly it. A creative person.
Thank you so much, David. We're so happy you're back. You're gonna love tonight's topic. And before we get Mr. Dion on, Velma just joined us. Velma Joseph, who is another nanner. It looks like she's out shopping. Can you introduce yourself, or you just want to tune in?
That's okay. Hi, I'm at the laundromat actually. Hi everyone. Hi Naya. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. All right. You want to share a little bit about you, or do you want to whatever you want to do?
Okay. Okay. My name is Velma Joseph. I'm an accountant. I am very passionate about being an activist. Yeah, and I'm there to work for the common good of the human race, our community. And I really appreciate the work that Anaya is doing. I support her 100%.
I appreciate you, Velma. Thank you so much. And we're going to talk about yesterday in just a moment. We're going to jump right into tonight. Thank you so much, Velma, for joining us tonight. Thank you, everybody. And now we're going to share, Dion is going to share who he is and his work, because he has to jump off in just a few minutes. But Dion, take over, my dear.
Thank you, and I am Dion Powell. I'm the crisis director of the Bronx National Action Network chapter. And I'm all about Black economics, not just that, implementation of the Black economics and the changing the mindset of the Black economics. And the last one is the most difficult, which leads to the first one as well. So let's just get right to it, family, which is the Black-owned banks. I believe LA wanted to see. So how am I steering this conversation, Anaya?
All right, so with the Black-owned banks, LA, AKA Mr. Larry, had sent some information. Do you want to jump right into that aspect, guys, and share what we talked about last week a little bit, since Dion was not present?
I wanted to see if you could, the week before that, you had shared a list of the minority, owned institutions. There was like a list that you said we could go look at this list of like the regulations. I wanted to see if you had that list still.
Okay, family, here's what we're gonna do. Dion just doesn't talk at people, likes to make it interactive and also give you the tools necessary to change your life in the world. But it's incumbent upon you. Okay, I can't share the screen.
Oh, you can't share it.
Okay, do you want me to not share? Because wait, hold on. So we had this screen from last week. So do you want me to wait for Dion?
I can't share my screen.
Okay, so we're giving Dion the platform to share his screen, Larry. That's what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, let me bring this screen down, and then I will give Dion the sharing option. How about that? Stop share. Okay, perfect. 1 second, guys. We want everybody to see what Dion is about to share. Now, Dion, I click on that that share screen thing and multiple participants, correct?
I believe so.
All right, go ahead. Now, everybody, for those that are watching on social media, you can actually share with all of your connections. Please let them know to watch now, because Dion has something he wants to share, and we have a lot of great information for tonight.
Well, and I also wanted to bring up another reason why I wanted you to share this list. When you had jumped off last week, I know you had important, busy stuff to do, because I wanted to break down to everyone on this list. There are certain institutions for us to look at, and there are certain institutions we got to kind of stray away from as far as Black economics and Black finance, because, the government and the media will use buzzwords and use us for symbolism. So as far as the list, The title of the list is, you know, is leading, but it's kind of misleading at the same time. Because it says minority finance, and as I kind of showed last week, and I showed the definition of for something to be considered minority, the owner has to have 51%, but all they have to be is either 25% Black, Asian, Hispanic, Latino, one of those, you know, subgroups. And then for something to be Black owned, they have to be Black and still own. They have to be, you know, majority Black and own 51%. But I wanted you to share the list because there's certain, you know, key institutions that we have to, you know, cancel out, because I saw some that said Black American, and then I saw it said Asian American. And then I seen certain ones that said Asian American and certain ones that said, it might have said Mexican American or Spanish American.
So real quick, Larry, let him go ahead and share that so then we can identify whatever it is that you saw that we didn't see, if that's okay. Dion,
okay, right.
Jump in and share that screen, and then let's see what is going on here, because that's very important.
Okay, let's get right into it, family. What gentlemen's talk about, Larry, is that minority depositories across the board.
Right.
Number one, banking, FDIC, which we all know, and federal credit unions, which is the NCUA, National Credit Unions Administration. So once again, you go to Google, family. I gotta take it a little slow because I talk kind of fast. And you Google FDIC, Minority Depository Institutions, okay? And that should come up. And here we go. Now, when you go here, they have a list compounding, you know, all this good stuff. So let's go to fourth quarter 2020, which is the last one. Now, as that downloads, which I hate, I'm gonna go back to Google again for you, family. And I'm going to go to NCUA, which stands for the National Credit Union Administration. And I'm going to their minority depository list. Now, this one is a little bit different and comprehensive in the sense that it's already online, which I prefer than downloading. And here as well, you can segregate according to states, ASICs, and so forth. So once again, I encourage the Federal Credit Union. Mine is in the Bronx. It's called the New Covenant Dominion Federal Credit Union in the Bronx. And I'm also a member of the Industrial Bank, Black-owned, in Harlem as well. So yeah, that's that. And, you know, hopefully you go here and, you know, it breaks down minority categories as to majority ownership, right? Federal credit unions, I want to speak very briefly on, are different from banks in the sense that it's based off the poor man's banking system, which is like a susu, as we say in America and Africa, or a partner, as they say in Jamaica, or a turn, as they say in other West Indian cultures and so forth, in which the money circulates in the friends and family. Say example, I want to go on vacation, you know, my job, we did this on my job. You need $1,000. So everybody put $100 every week into the pot, and we take numbers like number one, number two, and three. And each person that got like number one, they get $1,000, but they don't have to put the $100 in. Next person that grabbed number two, they get the $1,000, they don't have to put $100 in, and number one puts $100 in. So it keeps going around. So now that that happened, this is the Federal Credit Union website. I'm also going to bring up the Excel, which finished downloading on the screen as well. Okay. Now on this screen of the, whoops, I put the wrong one. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's see, where is it? Okay, here it is. I'm sorry, that's something else. That's political in nature. All right. Now, this minority depository is as of December 31st, 2020. All right. That's the fourth quarter of the fiscal year. And as you can see, it's going to give you all the banks here, the cities, the states, blase, blase. But I'm going to scroll to this column right here, where it says minority status. And it also says minority status by ownership type. Okay. So you have, you know, the alphabet letters BH, the numbers 1 through 7 or so forth. But if you go to the key or legend or whatever they call it in high school, all right, I'm going to go all the way down. So according to this list, we have 149 of these banks that are minority owned, etc. And here's the key where it says 20 of them are Black African American owned, right? Now here it says definition of class types. And if you see the symbols NM, it means a state bank, not a member of the FDRC, and so forth, right? Now, in this column here, maybe, I'm sorry guys, maybe you make it a little bit bigger because this is Zoom, okay? Okay, I'll scroll over. Okay, hopefully this is a little better and I can help you out. Now in this column here, it says minority status by ownership type, okay? So according to this, we have 18 Black or African-American owned banks in America. But with this Excel that you'll download at your leisure, right? You'll have to go into column I here. So yes, so one of the banks I have here, they have Carver here, which is fine. And the bank I deal with, where is it?
Industrial.
Industrial bank. But unfortunately, this sheet only gives the main branch location, which is Washington, D.C. But they have branches in New York and New Jersey. They expanded about over a year ago, but for COVID, they can't have like, any big launch. They're still trying to figure out how New York works. And so me as the connector, I'm trying to get volunteers from our Black community that have all these MBAs and so forth, and credentials from the bigger banks to come over here and let's try to set them up shop in New York. Because as we all know, New York is like the hardest place to do business, especially if you're a Black business owner. Everybody else, Atlanta and beyond, they have it easier. So I'm going to go to some questions here. Okay. So yes, they're putting the what is called the other cultures, like the Susu and things of that nature. But I'm gonna stop sharing my screens, and I'm gonna go back to Anaya because I have to leave in like 3 minutes.
No problem. Thank you so much, Dion. So does that answer the questions we've had? Welcome for everybody that's watching. You just saw the screen that Dion shared in regards to.
Oh, can I add a shameless plug? Absolutely. This hat is Senegal, right? But I went on a Black-owned traveling company called AfricanAmericanTravelers.com, which is a Black-owned company that goes to different countries in the world, and they get people from all the country, to pay in to, because I went by myself, but I went with a group of people through AfricanAmericanTravelers.com. And in July, Lord willing, I'll be going to Ghana. So I encourage all our folks to go to the mothership or motherland in your case.
Thank you so much, Dion, for that plug. I love it because, as you know, I'm looking to do the same thing. Before I jump into anything else, does anybody have any questions in regards to the authenticity as well as the information that Dion just shared? I know Larry has a follow-up that he wants to share. Mimi says, that's so cool. Thank you, Mimi. Sancha is very big in this information as well. But if you have any questions, please ask Dion now. Unmute yourself because Dion has to jump off in 2 minutes. And Larry, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna share the information that Larry shared with us to you, Dion, so you can take a look at that.
I'll put it in the chat as well. I'll put this in the chat for people that's on the Zoom.
Oh, perfect.
But everybody that was watching, Google, hopefully, they're watching the video at some other time or watching live.
Thank you, Dion. For everybody that's watching, we want to make sure that it's understood that the reason that Dion, tell the reason why you share in regards to the Black Credit Union. I don't want to take anything out of your mouth. It's your baby. So go ahead and talk about that part, Dion.
I'm a person that I don't effectively communicate in which people, take me seriously or take action. So I say it like this, Black people, hopefully you don't get offended. If you do, out of your comfort zone. Black people want change, but they don't want to change. And having said that, I'm the only one, after doing all these presentations for 2 years about the Black-owned bank here in Harlem, Black-owned Federal Credit Union here in the Bronx, I'm the one that has, debit cards for these places. So every time I see people like Anaya A, I say, hey, Anaya A, you talked a good game on your little show about the Black-owned bank. Do you have a Black-owned bank account? Anaya A, what's your answer? Now you're on mute now all of a sudden. All right, well,
no. So my answer is I have an account with the Carver Bank. So real quick, guys, when I found out that Carver Bank was Black owned, I literally jumped right into it. I put my money where my mouth is, and I've been doing pretty darn good with them. But I do have to open up that Black credit union. Matter of fact, Dion, we may have to
Well,
take a trip together this week.
Last time we had a little debate as to whether Carver was Black owned or Black managed, like I tried to explain to you. And I showed the duality of the screens, where one said Black owned and one said Black control or something along those lines. So I'm just gonna put that out there as I jump on. Okay.
No
Right,
problem.
One said Black owned and one said Black operated.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
And which one was which
say it again.
again? Which one was which again?
Industrial Bank. You know, I'm gonna do it again. No, I'm gonna do it. Industrial Bank said Black owned, and Carver Bank said Black operated. But you know, you had people arguing with me. Well, not arguing with me. That felt differently. So I just gotta go now. But I'll be back next time.
Well, real quick, let me just end by saying this: we do have to support our Black-owned businesses as well as our Black-owned banks. Those that are operated are not the same thing as owned. However, we're going to break down a little bit more information. I'm about to drop a link and I'm going to share with you, Dion, what L.A. Robinson has shared with me. Matter of fact, you all need to be friends on Facebook. Don't depend on Anaya A to be sharing all this information. So thank you, Dion, so much.
That's
and
right.
I'll
And
see you.
and I hope everybody goes to the Facebook group, all individual words, New York Free Thinking Democrats, all separate words. The word New York, the word new, the word York, Free Thinking Democrats. Please
Can
go
you do
there
me
and
a
join the
favor
movement.
and just drop that in the link as well in our group message?
I want to say something before Dion leaves. I'm glad you look back up, right? Because I want to know on that FDIC website, you brought the list up, and I want to see if everybody caught, all those institutions, and it showed what demographics own what. Is there a, I guess, a spreadsheet or a separate list that shows strictly Black-owned banks and not minority-owned banks? Because there's a difference.
Well, there are Black people.
Very
do their
good
own
point,
thing.
guys.
There are several Black organizations. I think even Black Enterprise at one point would share these lists periodically. But so far, when it comes to Black media, like I support McFly's media all the time, we're not on the same page. We do our own thing, and there's too much of it saturating the system. So a Black-owned platform like this is good to put up there. Now, me as a consultant, it would take me time and due diligence to compound something like that. But now that you guys have the information, especially Anaya A, the hostess, maybe she could sit down and copy and paste from the Excel and put the links and all this other stuff. Because Dion's just a consultant. I don't want to be paid for that. I just want to give you the information, and it's incumbent upon who? You to do the work. Bye-bye.
Well, as you guys know, I'm a very busy person. So if anybody wants to volunteer that time to get that together, by all means, let's do it, guys. Sancha has something to say. She's unmuted. Hi, Sancha.
Hi, Naya. Dion left.
We can't hear you, Sancha Shay. We can't hear you.
I am on mute.
Uh-oh. It's very low.
Okay. How about now?
It's still low, but get closer to the phone, maybe, because it sounds like we lost you.
Now?
Better. Perfect.
Okay. Dion left already?
I think he jumped off for his next meeting. Absolutely. Yep, he did.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask what he's talking about. Is it in regards to New York only, or is it anywhere in the US that he's talking about?
From what I observed, it looks like nationwide. I saw Washington, D.C. and a few different places, right? And it's our group chat, and I also put it online as well. But it's definitely, I think, a multitude of places that the list has, the information for sure. But I
have not seen the video yet, so.
Oh, you haven't. The screen share. So in the group messages at 7:32, he shared it here, but I'm going to reshare it right now, Sancha, for everybody. And one of the things that I want us to be clear about, hi, welcome to everybody that's watching on Facebook and Instagram right now. We're discussing Black credit union, Black, depository institutions, minority businesses, minority banks and things of that nature. And the reason why this is a very hot topic is just because we've been talking about this for quite a few weeks, because a lot of times when there's a connotation that it's Black owned and operated, a lot of times we'll see that it's minority owned and operated. And Larry Robinson has shared that there's a tremendous difference. And I'm glad that he brought that to the table, because we get bamboozled a lot of the times when we think our people are really owning things, but it's a melting pot. So presently we're looking at this list that's available on our Facebook. For Instagram, please join us on Facebook. You could join us at Anaya A period for that. For Sancha, Larry, did you want to answer or share anything else about the list that he has shared? And then right after that, you could jump into the Forbes list so we can show people some of the information that we discussed previously.
You know, I was just happy that he broke down the site, which, I mean, because initially when he showed the list the other week, you know, I saw the list of like maybe 50 to 100 banks, but then when you broke it down a little more, it was only about 18 that was actually Black. And I just wanted everyone to see, like I said, you got to look at buzzwords. The government will use buzzwords to throw you off. So the list, even though it's under the FDIC, it's a minority list. So there is no such thing as a Black list. So what happens is we get caught up because we've already been classified as minority. And then when you go down the list, you saw it was a couple banks. It said Black American, Asian American, Hispanic American. So you don't know what percentage is actually up. We could be only 5% owner, but they'll throw the Black American in there just to say, well, it's owned by Black people. By definition of minority owned banks, all you have to be is 25% Black. So that's just like me saying this. If my mother is Black and white and my father is Hispanic and Asian, I'm a minority owned bank. That is 25% of one of those specified groups. So I just want to show that there's a difference between minority and Black, and that list definitely showed you. If you paid attention to that list, there were certain banks that was only Asian American owned. There were certain ones that were only Hispanic American owned. And I'm not saying nothing against them because they need their money in their community too. But if we on here trying to save Black people, I only want to see the Black institutions that we should be investing ourselves back in. You know, everybody got their own struggles, but don't nobody come to Black people when we struggle. I have nothing against, you know, Hispanic people because I do have friends of Spanish background, but until Trump said something about their wall, a lot of them Spanish people weren't backing us. So I just, you know, when people try to say Black and brown relations, you know, I have no issue with, you know, teaming up with other people. But when Black people getting shot at, you know, everybody kind of quiet. You know, one of my favorite actors, Michael Jai White, you know, he catching some flack right now from an interview he just did, trying to stand up for us. So he said it was on Vlad TV. He said when Black Lives Matter came out, he said people was quick to say all lives matter. He said, but when the Stop Asian Hate come, he said, you didn't hear nobody say stop all hate. So now all the communities is jumping down his throat. Because we've been getting hate for over 400 or 500 years. Why isn't it stop all hate?
That's deep with what you said. Thanks for acknowledging that.
Yeah, but Michael Jai White, I'm just, you know, he said it on a Vlad interview. Now he's catching flack. And what's crazy is he's catching flack from us, his people, from saying stop all hate. There was opposition when it was Black Lives Matter, but now that it's stop Asian hate, now there is no stop all hate. If I come out on the media right now and say stop all hate, I'm gonna be public enemy number one.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's funny. You know, where's all the Black people that was also saying all lives matter? You know, the ones, you know, the Black ones that was saying like that was disagreeing with the Black Lives Matter, and they was saying like all lives matter. They ain't say shit about when it came to like, you know, the stop Asian hate. They was all along with it, but they ain't say stop all hate. So thanks for acknowledging that.
And we will discuss more of that in just a little bit, because this is a very deep topic. Welcome to everybody that's joining us. I see my cousin is on live with us on Instagram. Nan Youth Huddle is on. A lot of different people are watching on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for your participation, everybody. Listen, we want you to share this platform. This is our Economic Crisis Initiative meeting, where we can get a little political as well as a little, radical, because we are activists predominantly. And I actually think all of us are activists on this platform. But tonight we want to talk about this issue that we have economically in our communities, whereas our Black people really are at a disparaging rate of becoming more homeless, more, impoverished. And we want to stop the cycle. And how do we do that? We educate ourselves on how to become more wealthy together. So welcome, Fabi. That's my cousin, Fabi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And right now we're gonna take this time to answer any questions. For all of the political as well as the activism views, let's keep that for later, because I wanna share something that happened yesterday with everybody, whereas we were joined by the one and only Dr. Umar Johnson right here in the heart of Brooklyn. But we're gonna save that topic for a little bit later. Right now, we wanna talk about this money and how do we all become multimillionaires together. It's something to be said when all these other communities that we're referring to are literally multimillionaires. And the Asian community, I think the reason why they've gotten the love that they've gotten is because they put their money where their mouths are. But that's okay, because we're gonna talk about some money right now. And Black people, stop being afraid of becoming wealthy and amazing. So right now, David, did you have anything else you wanted to share? Not about the activism part yet. Let's save that for later, but anything else economically right now? And then we can jump into this other part for the Black ownership, or anybody else.
Well, I would like to say is that with what we're talking about in reference to the economics,
yes, sir.
This is really needed for young people to at the start, so that they can know how to start their budgets and things of that nature, so
Yes.
that they can avoid the pitfalls that many of us adults went through during our adulthood, when we made our mistakes, our oops and all of that stuff. We need to help the young kids, avoid those situations. So let's continue to kick knowledge.
Let's do it. And for those that are watching now, invite your friends, your children, your loved ones, the young people around you. Blast this off. And we will be doing more, David. Thank you for sharing that. But we will be doing a lot more with the youth in our community. As you all know, we've been doing this for quite some time. However, sometimes things need a lot more attention before it reaches those people that we're looking to target. So thank you, David. And I'm going to put you in position to help us get the young people on board, David, if that's okay with you.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Larry, back to you with the information we were talking about last week, please.
Before I dive into my little spew, because I can go on forever and ever, did any of the other people that's on here, did they want to chime in before I get into my spew? Because,
Anybody else want to comment?
Yeah, I would like to jump in.
Yes.
Just really quickly. We are seeing craziness happening in the markets. It's Mimi, by the way. I've been involved in the market for quite some time. And, I just want to say, if anyone is currently involved in the market, I'm wishing you luck. There is still lots of money to be made. I hope that any losses that anyone has experienced this week in particular, just know, in the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture, this week won't matter, but it's important to take note of what's going on. I just wanted to put that out there because this week we've seen a huge shift. A lot of the big players have bowed out, and we can talk about this on another day. I have quite a lot to say about certain positions that have been played and my personal view on them. Again, not financial advice, but just wanted to say anyone who is currently involved in the market, hang on tight. This is when it's about to get exciting. So I'm here if anyone would like to personally message me. I am available, and the knowledge is free. I'm really here to help as many people as I can, and it's that thick skin that's gonna get us through this, like everything else. So
Well, no,
that's just
Mimi,
my 2 cents about.
stay on, because that's a part of this conversation as well tonight. Every week we try to jump in with the whole Bitcoin AI thing. That's why I said tonight definitely is the night for us to share after Larry is done with his spiel. And then we have some real estate stuff. But Mimi, will you be on the whole time? It doesn't look like we'll be off until at least 9 o'clock or so.
Okay, I do have to jump off in about 15, but I can come back as soon as I'm done. It shouldn't take too long.
Perfect. That would be excellent. Perfect. Guys, you hear that? Mimi, our resident expert in regards to Bitcoin and AI, which is artificial intelligence, will be sharing more with us in a little bit. But Larry, well, anybody else before we get to Mr. Larry? All right, Mr. Larry, it's all about you.
Well, before I get into my spew, I gotta acknowledge my numbers. As I said, if you check right now live, Dogecoin is at 33 cents per share. Now, if you remember in a prior recording, I said it was gonna get down to about 35.
You
then
did.
It's gonna kick back up. I said this already. I said it's gonna. I don't see it dropping below 30 cents. Now, let me reiterate something. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling nobody what to do, but I know numbers. I know numbers. Everybody was hyped that it was gonna get up to $1. I told y'all it wasn't gonna get up to $1 that quick. I knew it was gonna come. It started tracking right back down. So right now it's at 33 cents a share. If you notice, you don't hear nobody talking about Dogecoin no more, because Elon Musk said his little spiel and they done lost like over 30 million worth of investments. So if you really want to invest, honestly, right now is the best time, because eventually somebody's going to hype it back up. Mimi, you were right. Elon is a scammer. But just like all big business is a scam. You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. But I definitely said the number was going to go down to about 35 cents a share. I said that initially. It was like at 68, 69 cents a share. And I said, and I told people, don't jump on it. It's going to come back down. It's going to come, and it has came toppling back down. Now, there's going to be another hype up for it. Trust and believe. It's going to be another hype. But the Dogecoin is down to 33 cents a share. So I just wanted to say that, we always got to give the live update from now on when we come on here. 33 cents a share.
Yeah, there was a time within, I think it was like within the last 48 hours, there was like a small space where it was actually 24 cents.
It was.
Real quick. It was real quick.
It was 24.
Yeah. It was real quick and everything. So we have to continue to monitor it to find out, just to see, the mini gaps and everything. It's gonna be real small opportunities, but just like what Larry said, it's a real great time to just jump on it right now. Just pretend that you taking a trip to Atlantic City or Vegas and just forget about the money.
Well, when it was high, I did jump on it by selling, and then wait, and it goes down. And
so wait, real quick, Satcha, did you make? No, Satcha, let's talk. Did you make anything? This is a great conversation. Come on, girl.
Did I make anything?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I did. When it was like 60 something that was the time it was 70 cents, I believe. Around that time, I went and I didn't sell everything I had, but I did half of what I had and then waited until it went back down and buy again.
Wow. All right now, girlfriend, you're
yeah, that's good. That's good. For an example, right? Right now, like when I was saying it was 24 cents, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you would have put bought like $10,000 worth of it, right? When that 24 went to like 50, now it's over $20,000. So you could like, cash that out, made yourself like an extra $10,000 and all that stuff. So that's good. That's why it's good to know numbers and study.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And that's why we are all here tonight. Literally. Oh, we have some inside tips too. I'm gonna wait for Mimi to jump in later and share those inside tips. I'm learning so much each and every day. But go ahead, Larry, share whatever you wanted to share. This is your time. Are you still there, Larry? I don't see you. Okay, there you are.
I wanted Mimi to chime in because she was commenting. I wanted her opinion on the Dogecoin.
Mimi, are you there with the comment?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, beautiful lady.
I wanted your opinion on the Dogecoin.
Okay. I would love to give you guys my opinion on Dogecoin. Just so you know, I'm not a financial advisor. This is my personal opinion. I no longer support Dogecoin. These coins are referred to as, pardon my French, but it's called shit coins. They're there temporarily. And it's not even, the reason I don't support it is I don't support the people behind it. And that's where I'll leave it. A lot of people made a lot of money off of it. I know when I posted about it for free on my page, people were messaging me saying they made thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you got to know, be risk averse. I love what Sancha said. She got in, she took out half of her profit and she left it in there. It's always about a profit first system. At least that's what I teach. Put in your investment. Once you have made that investment back, cash that out. And then it's up to you if you'd like to diversify your portfolio or not. Dogecoin, not rocking with it anymore. I am holding, waiting for the right time to sell, but for the most part, it's no longer a coin that I support. And this is what happens when it comes to these shit coins. So if you want something secure long term, definitely look at Ethereum or Bitcoin. Ethereum Classic is looking pretty good this year. There are so many coins out there, and also I would encourage anyone who is in e-commerce to look at creating your own coin. Let's get in this game. Let's get in heavy, because in the next 3-5 years, one small decision you made now, one investment of your time now will pay off in a big way. So that's what I'm all about now. Does that answer your question?
Oh my God, that sounded so good. Even though I'm still learning.
It answered my question fully. I'm glad you mentioned Ethereum, because like I said, everybody's on the Bitcoin, but when Ethereum goes up, you're gonna wish you had jumped on it. Because I've been hearing about Ethereum about 2 years, but I'm not sure of the new Ethereum. I guess there's one that that it's was that what you said, Sancho?
Ethereum Classic.
Ethereum Classic, yeah. So that's currently under $100. I project it'll hit 1,000 by the end of the year. My personal opinion, not financial advice again. I've been part of a system where we leverage technology, and I get a lot of insider information because I do pay to play. So that's what I can bring here in terms of value around the crypto space.
There is another one that, can you guys hear me well?
We can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah, there's another one that I am really looking forward to it. It's not out yet. MTO. You need Ethereum to buy that, and from Coinbase. And this one, it's projected to be
at $100. It's at $3.10 now, I believe it is. If it's between 10 and 20, 320. And it's projected to be out by July 1st. And it's gonna go big the minute it come out. So if you guys can look into it, like, not
Cool. I'll
buy,
definitely keep my
but
eye on it.
yeah, not buy, but
See, here's
I
the
have
thing with all
friends.
these.
I have friends that are like putting money on this thing because they did all their research on it, and it seems to be good to them. And then there is another thing to it, like references. If you give that to, let's say I sent it to you, there's a 25% that I got back for that. And then if you do it to somebody else, you get 25%, etc. So it's something to look into.
I love that. I'm gonna definitely check it out. MTO. I wrote it down here. Thank you so much.
Can you please send that to us so we can definitely jump on that, sister, and you get your 25 and we all get our 25 when we refer it out, please.
I think with
Okay.
the
Yes, love,
referral
yes.
system, yeah, with the referral system, so many apps, so many new technology, like they're all promoting these referral systems where you get paid to share, moving toward a bottom up system, which will, like we know and like we're experiencing, it's changing the whole landscape of how we think about money and how we spend that money. So it's definitely an exciting time. My personal opinion, last thing I'd like to share before Larry goes into it, is that I don't believe buying and holding is a strategy. I think that's gambling unless you have studied the market. I really truly believe you need something working for you, whether that is some sort of expert or a mentor, or you taking the step to learn the market more thoroughly and identifying patterns. And guys, what I've noticed through my own experience is the patterns we see are the same in any market. Market's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. We're just calling it crypto. It's decentralized this time, but it's pretty much exactly how the other markets of this world have, solidified themselves. So I personally don't believe buying and holding is a strategy. I like to leverage technology. We have technology out there available to us. We're not hungry for opportunity because opportunity is all around us. It's just about doing your due diligence and finding something that works for you. So if anyone would like to continue this conversation, please do message me. And I'm happy to share with you in more detail.
Definitely, I
appreciate
will,
that,
Mimi.
Mimi. Yeah, so just to kind of piggyback off of that, as far as like the trading and like the Bitcoin and everything, I feel like the investing game, like she said, the buy and hold is I don't think it's not for us. You gotta treat that market like it's the streets. Like if you a hustler in the streets, you're not gonna buy no work and hold it. You're gonna buy it and get it off. You know what I'm saying? That you gotta make money. It's quick because look at everybody that done bought all that Bitcoin at 68 cents a share and now it done dropped down. Like you said, what'd you say, David? It went down to 24 for a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't saying the Bitcoin, the doggy coin.
I mean, my fault. The Doge.
Yeah. The doggy
no.
coin and everything went down to 24 cents and all that stuff.
My fault.
Yeah. Because it's all the same thing. It's like Scott tissue and Charmaine tissue, different bottles of water and everything. Evian is all water at the end of the day.
It's like this, right? It's like this. When it went down to that 24 cent, you know how many people got notified and they sold at 24 cent and now it's back up to 34 cent? They pretty much bought dope and just sold weed. That's what they got scared. No, you buy low, sell high. When it got up,
Exactly.
when everybody was talking about, oh, it's gonna get up to $1, they should have sold at that point. It's at 68 cents. That's the highest it's gonna get. If I'm not mistaken, Santra, you said it got up to like 72, 73 cents.
70. I remember selling at 71 cents.
Okay, they should have sold at that point. They should have sold at that point.
Greedy. We greedy. We looking for more.
Nah, listen, I told you, like Mimi just said, this is not the buy and hold. This
Not
is not
me.
the you get your work, you hit the corner, you drop it off. That's it.
Yep.
Make your money and you keep it. You rinse and repeat. Ain't that what they say in business? Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat. You get it low, sell it high, find something else, keep it moving. The market, like Mimi said, none of us here have the time of day to sit and look at a computer and look at them numbers all day. I don't have the time. I throw a little bit of money in there, make my little 1,000, pull it out, throw it in something else, make another little 1,000 or two, pull it out, do what I need to do, keep it moving. The market, unless you got the time of day, the only people that got the time of day is some people that's retired that go to the golf course. We don't got it. I work a 9 to 5. I'm in school right now for cybersecurity, for tech. So I don't have the time of day to sit around and I'm gonna see if the number gonna go up. Because the moment you start watching them numbers, it's gonna go down. You're gonna get anxious. You're gonna pull it out, and it's gonna shoot back up. You done lost all your money.
You're right. And you know what? Those whale accounts, when I say whale accounts, the whale accounts is the ones that's like $1 million and up, that has like, $1 billion shares. Those are the ones that they could like afford to like sit there. And they've been sitting there. Some of them been sitting there for like years, just chilling, waiting and everything. And they bought the dog coin at 0.005 cents a share. So now when it goes up to like, 75 cents and everything, those millions of dollars magnified. So they could cash out if they want. So they just waiting for like the dollar point or maybe a $2 point and cash out. But we don't have that luxury.
Well, we don't have that luxury,
especially as Black people. We have to worry about rent. We have to worry about paying bills. There's so many pitfalls and traps that we're in. We have to like worry about, childcare, employment, unemployment, paying debts and all of that stuff. So we don't really have that type of luxury compared to, others, in a higher class that has the money, that has the money that can work for them. It's like right now we at the stage that we have to work for the money, but we have to work for the money to the point where the money could work for us.
But another thing too, we have to trust each other's eyes, right? And I'm gonna wrap it up with this on an investments. We have to trust each other's eyes. See, we look at the white millionaires and billionaires, and we look at that as being the standard and the status quo, right? So we all know who Elon Musk is. He brought us Tesla, all these other, great mythological inventions that probably really ain't worth nothing. So we looked at him and
oh my God, I can't with
well, I'm just no, I'm gonna segue into Black finance and why we should have followed suit, right? So
Yes,
we looked at Elon Musk and we looked at him as the standard. But if you remember 10 years ago, when Nas put like 5 million into the Ring doorbell, people told him, no, don't do it. Don't do it. He invested, he was the key financial investor into that Ring doorbell. Now the Ring doorbell is in every state. It's on majority people's door. That 5 million turned into 40 million cash out, and he's still getting a residual off of that. Now had we followed suit with him, and here's the thing: when he invested in Ring is only like $2 a share. That's it. I don't know how much Ring is now.
Sorry, somebody's phone is making noise in the background, please. Sorry. Go ahead.
I probably can't afford to buy a share of Ring because it's so popular. It's just like 6 or 7 months ago, Jay-Z just acquired a piece of this marijuana company called Monogram. You know, a lot of us say we want to jump on this marijuana train, but we're not really doing it. I tried to look up Monogram on the market. I don't see it. So I'm assuming it doesn't have an IPO yet. But that's something you gotta think about something. Jay-Z ain't missed yet. Whenever he put his money in something, it jumps off. When he jumped on Ace of Spades, the stock went up. When he jumped on Duce, the stock went up. When he bought Tidal, remember, Tidal as a streaming service was going bankrupt. They were a European company that was going bankrupt because Apple Music was running all the music. Jay-Z said, I want to give artists a chance to actually make money, because at that time, there was only 3 streaming services. You had Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Spotify. I want to say there was one called Spiral too, but they weren't paying out the money that artists deserve. Now Jay-Z get it. He done quadrupled the value of it. So what we got to do, we got to stop looking at the white people that's presenting us products and look at some of these black people, because look, Papa John's racist owner, they booted him out.
Let me ask you something, Larry, not to cut you off, but I want to know, okay, because I've heard these things, but now becoming a new investor, learning, you know, trading, whatever the heck I'm doing. I want to know, like, how do we find out this information that can help us, and how do we support and join with them? Because let's be realistic, right? For everybody that's listening and watching, one of the things that we have to be clear on is, for somebody like you, Larry, it's easy for you. This is like second nature. Whereas Anaya A, who has a whole platform for the people, sits back and I'm like, what am I doing? And I learned bits and pieces as quickly as possible, with this little bit of knowledge, because I want to be a multi-billionaire. How the heck is that going to happen? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm working on it in a mysterious way, right? And with that being said, somebody like yourself, who's probably already close to billionaire status, we ain't gonna go into the bank and
nah.
But we know Mr. Larry Robinson got bank, okay, because he's been doing this a long time. But what I'm saying is, this is like so second nature for you. But people like myself, Mama Brenda, even Miss Velma or Miss Darlene, I'm not going to put David in the category, or Sancha, because they know what they're talking about, right? But I know us, okay? And we need the extracurricular activities to get us to that next level. So in essence, for myself and those that are watching, how do we say, okay, when somebody like, Jay-Z looks at a portfolio and says, you guys should jump on this, how do we know what the heck he's talking about? And like, get on board too.
Right. So when it's advertised, I'm gonna tell you the first thing I do, right? Let me tell you something about 2021. Everybody is walking around with the computer in their hands. It's nothing for any of us to get online and let me go look up this Monogram marijuana. How can I go invest in that? Let me see what the stock price is. See, what it is I told you, we don't have a self-love for ourselves. We'll see the Elon Musk of the world with this Dogecoin, and we'll jump on that. But like I said, Nas invested in Ring Doorbell, and it was out in the open. People criticized him. If we would have invested in Ring when Nas invested, when he tried to show us the way, a lot of us would be millionaires right now. If we would have jumped on Tidal when Jay-Z when people thought, oh, what is Jay-Z gonna do with Tidal? He failed at running Def Jam. We would have been good with Tidal. If I'm not mistaken, Tidal stock was like $200-300, but you got to understand something. Tidal stock now is like $2,000-3,000. So even if you bought a percentage of a percentage, when it shoots up like that, your percentage shoots up. Your money shoots up. It don't even matter. You can buy a fraction of a share. Here's the thing, it's not all, everybody can't get everything all at one time. Even if I only got $10 to invest right now, I'll throw that $10 in something. Everybody, all these millionaires and billionaires didn't become millionaires and billionaires overnight. It's a step building. So you got to get what you can get right now. You got to get what you can get right now. Like I said to everybody that was on the Dogecoin craze, when it was like at 68, 69 cents, I said, hold your horses, because it's going to come back down. What did it do? It came crashing all the way back down. Now, for people right now, and I always put that disclaimer out, I'm not no advisor. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do. But just as big as it came back down, it will shoot back up a little bit. And there's opportunity for gain. So if you sitting on $200, $300, $400, or you still got some of your stimmy left over, go ahead, throw it in the Doge. It's at the bottom right now. It's gonna go back up. It might only go up to 55, 56. But do you know what type of a jump? 33 cent a share to 50 something cent a share, what type of a jump that is? If you put 200, it just something simple as $200 because it's per share. So you still gonna come up a couple thousand if you put the right amount in there.
May I just say something real quick for those that are watching and listening real quick? I just jumped into Coinbase because I'm curious to see what my stuff is doing. And first thing that hits me like a ton of bricks is Bitcoin is down 31,000, guys, from 55,000 a share. Now, I don't want to veer off too far, but what the hell does that mean for those that are watching? Because we were just talking about Bitcoin and how it was at 55,000 a share. Now we're at 31. So I can't afford it either way, but damn, I want to know.
Go ahead, Dave.
Sometimes you have to study. You know, the thing is that when it comes to like when the stock drops and stuff, you have to like do the research. You have to find out. You have to like study the world. You have to see like what's going on in the world, what's going on in the season. Now, the reality is that summer is here. Summer is here. Summer's here early. A lot of people is preparing for the summer, so they're going to take some money out.
Either way, sorry, real quick, David, aren't we in like a mini war with like Jerusalem and Israel and Palestine? Doesn't that
have to look at that too? That plays a factor as well too. So, you know, people want to like, you know, pull some money out, you know, just to have some, you know, extra money on the side. So that's the reason why people do invest and put money into stocks. So just in case certain things happen, they'll be able to like, you know, pull some money out. But just like what Larry said, like there's going to be a time where the numbers is going to go back up, and we have to like, you know, be prepared for it. And also like with this the monogram of Jay-Z, what you was talking about, we have to be aware that when it comes to like, you know, the stocks, that not everybody has access to it in the early stages. Because what I did was when I was trying to go into like the other coins, like the Safe Moon and the other coins, I have to have access to go into like other accounts so that I could get into Safe Moon. And then when I was trying to get into it, I realized that I wasn't able to get into it because of the region. And the region of where the people is able to get those accounts is in Europe and in Virginia, not around here. So it makes you think, like, who's over there in those places? A lot of them are, you know, people who are not like us. So we have to like be very aware of it. And then another thing is that by the time, you know, these stocks become accessible to us, it's already, you know, it's not too late, but we're late in the game. Wait,
can I ask you something? What in the hell does that mean that it's in Virginia and in Europe when we are now a technological world? Like Larry said, we have the world in the palm of our hands. How can we restrict anything?
Well, it's almost like a funny thing that's really going on. You know, they're not really saying it, but you know, if you go into like certain type of accounts to try to access accounts to get to the stocks, when I was trying to do it, it was saying it wasn't accessible to me because of where I'm at in New York City. Yeah, that's true. And the only people who were able to get it were in Europe, EU, and in Virginia. So it just shows that, you know, they are trying to like bar or like trying to like limit to like, you know, certain people as of now. But like when it gets to like at a later time in the stocks where the stock probably reached to like a certain level, then it'll be like accessible to like other people. So that's why a lot of us wasn't able to get the dog coin at 5 cents a share. It waited until it got into like about 20 cents or 25 cents a share before it became accessible to Black people and just the general population, or 0.005 cents a share. It wasn't accessible to us. And if you look into Robinhood and Coinbase and a lot of these other apps where you could get these cryptocurrencies, you're not able to, like, you don't really see certain coins there yet, because those coins are at 0.005 cents a share or a fraction of a penny. So we're not able to, like, get it. A lot of these coins, we're only able to get it when it's after a certain level at a certain state and everything, where other people are able to access these coins at a fraction of a penny, but the general population is not. So we have to, like, be aware of that. We're not at the end of the game, but we are late in the game. So we have to, like, understand that and also do our homework and study.
Oh my God, that is so amazing what you just shared. Honestly, I think that's why the world is going bananas, because Black people are on top of their stuff for the first time in a long time. And Black people, one of the things that I would like to propose is us owning, like, those stocks. Like, I will share this personal quick tidbit. When I first became a business owner, one of the first things I was telling, like, these white guys was like, I want to be able to have my business on the stock exchange and people, like, invest in stuff. And, the white boys were looking at me like, this girl done lost her ever bloody mind. And I didn't understand, because I thought it was like a free world we were in, because obviously I'm still oblivious. But guess what, fam? I've learned so much in listening to you guys, and it makes a lot of sense as to why we don't have more. There are certain things set up in place to keep us out. When I say certain things, especially to the family that I come from, that happens to be like every other person, white or whatever, they think I'm bugged out. Like, why are you being so racist? Oh my God. And I'm like, this is life right now. So I want everybody to wake up and listen to what David is saying, listen to what, Larry is saying, because what we're talking about is some real truth. And I will not forget a few weeks ago when things went crazy with Robinhood and all that jazz. And there was like this white or Jewish guy or whatever, I don't even remember, because I was just so kind of appalled. He came on and basically was discussing how it's not fair that so many people have access to the stock game. I don't know if you guys remember that story just a few weeks back. He was like a multimillionaire guy or whatever, investor guy. Larry's nodding, so he knows what I'm talking about. And I feel like he realized that a lot more Black people had access to something that was pretty much a secret. Like the stock exchange, the stock market has never really been available to us. And that's why I go so hard for the Economic Crisis Initiative, because even though I don't get it, I'm getting it. And I want us all to get it. I want us to be rich. Like, for those that are watching or who will watch, it takes 0.0 time for you to try to understand, even a fraction of what we're discussing tonight. Like, every time I talk to these brilliant people who have the knowledge, I learned something. I learned that I should, go online and invest in something or look into something, because, we have enough money. And I want to make sure you guys are understanding what I'm saying. As Black people, we're typically the consumer. We have enough money to buy the most brand new crap that's out there, between the Nikes, between the freaking 95-inch television TV screens, the newest games, that they have for our children. But when it comes to investments, when it comes to property, we don't own shit. And I'm tired.
Yeah. Anaya?
Let me shut up right now, because
Anaya, I agree with what you're saying. And we have to, like, look at even in New York, where we're in New York, even like years ago, down in Wall Street. The general population can't just walk into the stock market buildings like that. You have to have a pass.
You have to
certain
have
type of
clearance. They have
access.
secret services out there. There's a reason it's so closed circuit. Go ahead, David.
It's a closed circuit and everything. So that's the same thing what they're trying to do with these cryptocurrencies now, and if you really look and do your research, even the president and the government is trying to find these type of new regulations in reference to cryptocurrencies, because they're starting to see that certain groups of people like us are gaining access and becoming more knowledgeable about finances and stocks. So they're really trying to start a lot of these rules and pass these laws to regulate and limit them us from gaining these type of access. And just how years ago a lot of people wasn't able to walk into Wall Street, into the stock market buildings, to gain these access before you have, like I said, you have to have certain type of access, certain type of pass, and you have to go to certain companies that you have to pay a lot of these fees and these special fines to get stocks. But now you don't have to do that. All you have to do is just go onto your phone and computer and get stocks and all that stuff. So a lot of these companies, these stock brokers, it's not really making as much money, compared to years ago when people didn't have access, through computers and stuff like that. So they're trying to set up laws and rules now to regulate that.
May I add that we talked about this before as well on one of our previous platforms. We knew that it was coming because, when things are open like this to the general public, what happens is what David is saying, the big ballers, shot callers that have always had the control typically are going to be bat booty crazy, because they're going to feel like they're losing the control, which is typically what, racism and, extremists, don't want. They don't want to lose the control. They do not want people to have certain accesses, because what does that do? That diminishes their light, and that helps others get out of their predicament. So now we're no longer dependent on them, right, for everything. And they do not like that. So in essence, I'm very happy that we are learning this thing together. I'm very happy that this is happening for such a time as this, because once the economic crisis initiative thing, came into my mind and my heart, I was so skeptical, guys. I'm not going to even lie. I was so skeptical. I was like, who's going to listen to Anaya, or who's going to listen to a bunch of Black folks talk about money, and really make this serious? And I had to take a chance. And I'm here every week, seriously hoping that we get better. One of the things that I wanted to discuss also tonight is real estate, right? David, we just talked about it briefly as well. Larry knows all about this real estate game. I don't know if Sancha, you have some properties down in South Florida, because you look like you're doing some stuff down there. I'm not getting into your business, but in New York City, for example, they put the people in these compounds, I like to call it, right? These cages, and say you get, to live here for free or for $10 a month or whatever. And then, in a few years, you get to grandfather this community in. And as I started to look at the communities, the projects, the hoods or whatever, and how, even though we're living pretty freely or whatever you want to call it, because of the social economic advantages or whatnot, when you think about it, that reduces the people to become homeowners. And I want to shout out my mother, for example, because I never understood why she never let us take social, income, whatever you call it, food stamps, this, that, and the third, or whatever, growing up as a Haitian mother. She was like, they're gonna be all up in your business and you're never gonna be able to own anything. And I didn't comprehend that until I became an adult. And I really see now what people have been talking about with this welfare system, etc. So tonight I wanted to discuss, just for a few, because we're already at 8:24, real estate, investment properties, because while we're talking about, the Dogecoin and Coinbase and all of these things, it goes hand in hand as to how we can operate as a unified unit to owning properties as well. Because once we start getting things together financially, we break down the myths of not owning anything or not having investments, etc., then we're able to think outside of the box and become wealthy investors in our own communities, buying up the block. Last year, I proposed something over the summer, like everybody, let's put money together and let's buy some land. And everybody was like, yes, Anaya, let's go. They were inboxing me. They were like, saying all these comments. I got like 300 comments in like 5 minutes. And then when I went around to try to make it a dream come true and a reality for the community, and nobody wanted to move forward. So tonight, I wanted us to discuss why it's important to learn the real estate game, get into this investment thing, and start buying property, no matter what that looks like. David, Larry, Sancha, anybody.
Anybody want to say something before I go in?
I wanted to say something about, before we get into real estate, it's okay to be able to be investing and what's going on. We have people that don't have the knowledge on how to get started. I was asking if, like, in one of these presentation, if we can have we share on screen and like teach people exactly this is how you do it. You go here, you go there, you click on this,
Sancha,
like
you just signed up, Sancha. You are the one. In the name of Jesus. Thank you.
Mr. Robinson.
What's up? What's up?
No, I was just throwing shade at Mr. Robinson so that he would sign up for that. And then you just sign me up. No, Mr. Robinson.
Don't throw no shade at me.
He's gonna do it.
Or David.
Everything. Go ahead, man.
I'm already kind of active.
Yes.
Don't throw no shade at me.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Yeah, so that like earlier, David, you mentioned you couldn't get SafeMoon. Did you get it?
No, I wasn't able to access the safe.
I'm in Florida. I got it. I got both SafeMoon and Sheba.
Well, maybe because of the geographic location of where you at, you're able to like access it. But where I was at and with the accounts that I was trying to get into, I wasn't able to get into it. So
okay,
if you have it,
well,
I'm saying if you have the SafeMoon, try to get as many as you can and hold on to it, because you never know. Like with these laws that they're trying to like implement, you may not be able to get more access into it, because they are right now, they're trying to like set up these laws to like regulate a lot of cryptocurrencies and all of that stuff, because they are seeing a lot of people really capitalizing off of it. And so definitely do your best to like, keep it. And if you can, try to keep it for like a couple of years.
It's, to tell you the truth, it's not easy.
1 second. I'm sorry. We just had a new visitor from Instagram who says she wants to invest in buying up the block. I am so happy. I don't even know this beautiful sister's name. I see a tiny little face on Instagram, but sister, whoever you are, please inbox me, because we're going to buy up some blocks together as a Black people. And you know what? I don't do anything scamming like anybody. So whatever we do is going to be in black and white. I'm serious, guys. I am not going to give up on this idea that Black people can actually work together, build, and buy stuff like the Jews, like the Italianos, and every other nationality. Go ahead, Sam.
All right.
Go ahead.
Naya, this thing is what you're talking about. It's so interesting. Down here in Miami.
Yes,
okay. Let's talk about before we head into real estate. Let's say gentrification is it's everywhere. But when it comes to Miami, it's another story. So now, 10 years prior, if people like the Black people, let's say in Little Haiti, the Haitian Haitian people that were there, if they had bought every single houses that were down there, right now, the crisis that we have with developers, it could be a different stories, because when they come and want to buy from you, you can literally say, I don't want to sell. But because you rented, and the person that you went from, the landlord, tell you, well, I'm not gonna renew for you, so you just evacuate. Give me my house. You have no choice but to do that. However, the landlord also can, if you say, well, I need to get like a couple of months to find for houses, and they will tell you, well, if you used to pay $1,200 for 1-bedroom apartment or one room, I'm gonna double it. I'm gonna make you pay $3,000 for it, and then right there, you are not able to afford it, so you have no choice but to get the hell out. I'm saying all this to say what? Like, whenever I'm in it too, because I do not own a house. I rent. And I am in that investment business, number one, to make sure that I got my own house, because I'm tired of, paying rent, paying the mortgage for somebody else, while you can use that money to pay for your own damn mortgage. Excuse my French.
No, absolutely, sister.
So,
And may I just say, I'm so happy. And Brianna is the one who has inboxed us. She's very interested in buying up the block and working with us. So Brianna, if you're on Facebook as well, please join us on Facebook or on Zoom. I'm going to send you the Zoom link, because let me tell you something. I know you're saying it's interesting, Sancha, that I'm talking about this, but this is something I've been so passionate about for so many years. And again, I had to take the step out in faith to really share this with my people in my community, because I've always been into buying property and owning different things because of my mother. Shouts out to my mother, who Sancha knows very well now. Don't forget, you have to call mommy sometime this week or something, because she probably wants to hear from you. Anyway, so with that being said, as a Black people, having your own is the only way in this country. And what does that mean? Not giving up because of whatever crises are happening in your communities, etc. Sancha, I believe Marlene Bastien for many years was talking about the gentrification issues that were going on in Miami for a number of years, and nobody understood what she was saying, but she fought for Little Haiti for a long time. Larry's hand is up. Go ahead, Larry.
Let me say this right here. And I want y'all to let me get my point out, because I know I'm about to make some people mad right now.
Well, we've been trying to let you make your point, but you
bring it. We want to hear it.
Hey, listen. So I
got your back.
I got this for Sancha, right? So I can't tell you how much, but gentrification is not always a bad thing. And let me explain when I say this, right? We always complain, right, as a people, when white people come in and buy up everything and kick us out. When, to be honest, Black people in the country, when they've done the statistics, we have one of the strongest middle class incomes of all people. Now, why can't we come into our communities and buy it up? Because honestly, we don't see value in our communities. Now, I'm gonna speak for Little Haiti, right? So how I got into real estate is because my dad is a real estate investor. That's how he makes his money. My dad actually owns a good portion of Miami. He's down there in Florida. My dad's in South Florida. He has 3 houses in Orlando. He's got 2 houses in Pompano Beach. He owns like 3 condos on South Beach. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So what he's done over time, he's gone to the lowest and lowest of communities, bought a lot of rundown foreclosed houses. He was a handyman. He fixed them up himself. Whatever he couldn't fix up, he paid and hired contractors. And you know what he did? Instead of, well, see, here's another thing. My dad put money into it, so he put money back into it. A lot of his tenants are white, but he owns it. See, the difference is, it's not about us getting kicked out. It's about us actually owning it. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I have no issue with having a white tenant if I own something. I have no
Can
sympathy.
somebody put their phone on mute? I'm sorry. I believe it might be Velma because we're in New York City where
Yeah, I have no issue with.
Velma, I'm sorry, Mama. Can you put your phone on mute, please? Because the sirens are bugging in the background. I didn't know if you wanted to speak or not. Okay.
I have no issue with an Indian living in my property. I have no issue with anybody of Spanish background living in my property. But what we have to do, we have to look at gentrification from a positive standpoint. It's cool if somebody else wants to come and clean up the community, but unless we step out and actually own it, then it's kind of hard to step up and be like, oh man, these white people that came in here and bought it up. Because trust me, just as quick as they can go buy some stuff up, we can go buy it up if we prioritize right.
I love it. No, you didn't make us mad. I need you to speak truth to power, Larry. Talk about it, because this is why we have this segment tonight. And I want you to show, well, I don't want you to show us or tell us, but like, your father must be somebody who understands this and has been doing this for years to be able to own all of those properties. He must have a good team too, by the way.
Well, no, it's not that. You got to understand something, right? My dad grew up on a farm. So when you grow up on a farm in South Georgia, 9 times out of 10, you know how to do handyman stuff. You're not going to pay these contractors to come in here and do this. You don't learn how to do everything yourself. My dad didn't have to, he never went to no high-end community to go, oh, let me go buy this and put this person out. No, most of the properties that he bought was off the foreclosure list. Fixer uppers that he could take time, fix up himself, throw somebody in there. Because let's go ahead and be honest. If anybody who's ever been to South Florida, some of them houses in South Florida that they charging like $1,500 a month, listen, they not worth $1,500 a month. If you ever been to a place called Opa-locka, my dad owns like 15 houses in Opa-locka. You know what I'm saying? And those things, they run down, they look like shantytown houses.
A lot of places like that.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, but in our defense, we have a certain system that we have to get around. So in the banking world, and I'm going to use this term very loosely, in the banking world, the one thing that kept us away from a lot of resources is a system called redlining.
Yes.
Now, if no one knows what redlining is, well, white people, well, I ain't gonna say white people. I'm gonna say what. She's trying to talk.
You're on mute, Anaya. You're on mute.
Sorry. I was gonna say it's not just in banking, Larry. It's actually in real estate. Redlining became illegal many years ago.
Well, no. It's strictly in banking. The reason why I say that, no one's gonna deny you buying a house. They're only gonna deny you financing.
That's right.
You gotta understand something. Everyone that's not of a Black background or Black, nationality, they care about money and power. So you got to understand something. If a banking or a financial institution denies you, economic resources, then how are you going to be able to acquire it? So this is why a lot of us need to, if we ain't educated on it, you might need to go to Barnes and Noble and pick up a book on credit. If you're not educated on it, you might got to go to Barnes and Noble and pick up a book on, basic investing for dummies. They got books in Barnes that says this for dummies.
Sorry, Larry, how about you just pick up your phone and Google it or YouTube it? Because I go to YouTube at university every day.
Now I know that. I'm just saying for people. You could pick up your phone and do it, but a lot of us are lazy.
Yeah.
You don't hear nobody saying they going to the library no more. We don't go to the library for research. Wikipedia is our main source. You got more of us that believe Wikipedia than we do an encyclopedia. So, we have to know these things. And another thing too, if you live in a specific zip code, they'll deny you.
Yeah.
If you live in a specific zip code and you try to apply for certain benefits, which is illegal because that's a part of redlining, they'll come up with any excuse. Oh, well, you lack a down payment, or you lack thereof credit, or you lack thereof yearly income, or your taxes ain't complete. We need 5 years of taxes, when they just approved this white couple because they only had 2 years worth of taxes. They gonna find whatever they gotta do to put you on the other side of the line.
Yeah.
But what it is with us as people, and this is what I see personally, we want the finished product and we don't want to take the journey. Now, if I come to, the average person, I say, hey, let's go over here to these projects and go buy these rundown apartments. Somebody look at me crazy because they don't want to put the time and effort into revitalizing them.
Preach, Larry Robinson.
But that Jew will, though. The Jew will go and buy that whole unit and revitalize it. But, my partner over here, he gonna want to go to Bensonhurst, where everything might look a little nice. You know what I'm saying? It's certain
But
parts
Larry,
it's certain parts of Flushing, Queens. It looks nice.
but
Go ahead,
Larry,
Pastor.
you mentioned something earlier, education. We must educate our people on these type of issues because some of them know. They're hard-headed, they will not get into it, but some they don't. Let's say the elderlies, like the more older generations, us right now, we get it. We want to get into it. We want to make sure we have our own place. But let's say in Little Haiti, an example again, you find a lot of them that already had their own house. It's theirs. And then when the developers come in, okay, they see the potential in that house. And the house might probably worth just an example for people to really understand it. Let's say the house worth $400. And then they come in and they offer you $800 for it. And those Gamoon, the elders, they see $400 more as profit, and they just go ahead and sell. And then now you had your house, you sold it, and most likely you're not gonna live in Little Haiti anymore. Let's say you are working for $2 per hour, and then you're gonna move up to North Miami with that same job with $2, while the area that you are going now, it's more expensive than where you are at. So you still have the same job, you don't have another job added, and then you're gonna rent now. You sold the house, you still have the same job, you're gonna rent now. And this is how it happened. A lot of like, it's not just personal home, it's businesses. Like, they offer you 3-4 plus than what's it worth, and you think it is a profit for real, and you're gonna sell, and then later on you're gonna regret it because you just put yourself in deeper. So
I want to say something real quick, Sancha.
I'm gonna answer Sancha.
Hold on, real quick, Larry, and then we're gonna wrap it up, Larry, and then David looks like he unmuted himself. So this is a big problem that we will not be able to tackle in one night. I'm glad you shared that, Sancha, and that's how our entire blocks get bought up, honestly, because again, we're consumer minded as a people, because the first thing we think about is those extra coins, and we're ready to go buy something instead of sitting, because we're not patient people. But that's why we're doing what we're doing, because my hope is this: for those that know what you know, my prayer and my hope is that you are no longer afraid to talk to those in your community, because like with the example with Larry's father, for example, buying up those properties that don't look like they're worth a dime. A lot of people would not have taken that risk because they would look at all of the negative parts about buying those rundown properties, but they don't look at the main value, which is the land. One of the things that people have to understand in real estate is you're not buying the property, you're buying the land, because land cannot be reproduced. And there's a reason why very intelligent investors go around and they look at properties in certain communities, because they know they're going to tear down those homes, those buildings, etc., and they're going to build upon that land that's going to now become, Brickell, for example, in South Miami, which is a multi-billion-dollar community, because there were rundown homes there at one point, but they looked at the area near the water and things of that nature. They did their, analysis, their evaluations. They came to the realization that they could get the funding from the banks and other investors. They put their monies together and they're able to go together and say, okay, Tommy, I have $500,000. How much do you have, Tommy? You have 155,000. Let's call Joe. Joe has 3 million. Let's put our money together. Let's go in this community. Let's buy all these dummies out, predominantly Black and Hispanics. Let's get their land. Let's tear down all those shitty little homes that they loved, and let's rebuild. So if we can stop selling ourselves short, that is the key to success. So Sancha, for example, you're here with us tonight. You're saying that it's interesting that we're talking about this. This is something that I am always thinking about and always talking about, but not publicly like this, because as we know, anytime a Black person takes this kind of initiative, it's hell on earth for them. So I've been afraid for many years to discuss this stuff publicly, but I'm not afraid anymore because I'm surrounded by beautiful minded people that feel the same way as I do. Now let's do our jobs, fam, and let's go into our communities and educate our people. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be shutting down in a few, but I'm gonna let Larry, David, Sancha, everybody else speak. I'm gonna put my camera off and I'm gonna let you guys take over. Let's try to end by 9:15 or so, and we'll be back next week, same Black time, same Black space. Go ahead, Larry, David, Mimi, Sancha, whoever else wants to speak.
All right, so let me say this, right? Just to answer Sancha's, just to kind of respond to what she was saying, which I don't disagree with nothing she said. Everything she said was right. They'll come in and give you an offer that's 3 or 4 times what your house may be worth, right? So I want to kind of segue with that, because I don't ever want to feel like I'm disrespecting one generation over the other. But I always use history as my preference. So a lot of and you mentioned the older generation, they did it. A lot of the older generation did not have the education, resources, and economics that we have today. So when they see that these people are coming in and giving them this money, that probably money that they've never even seen before, I can understand why in their mind they would jump on it. Because if we was all in the same boat, 9 times out of 10, we would probably jump on it. If somebody came to you right now, you've been broke and struggling your whole life, and they telling you, and your house is paid off, you in a rundown house, and they saying, look,
welcome Batman, Times Square. Hola, ¿cómo está?
We gonna give you $150,000. You never seen that a day in your life. You're gonna jump right on it. But you have to look at we're living in right now. Unfortunately, a lot of the older generation did not have that sense of economic and ownership. They built a lot of things from ground zero, but they did not have a sense of it, to keep it, to hold on. They didn't understand what land was. They understood how to work it, because like them, we're still feeling certain residual effects of slavery. But you got to understand something about the civil rights movement, right? And I'm not knocking the civil rights movement, but integration killed a lot of Black ownership, because during segregation, we was forced to have to deal with each other. Right now, in 2021, we don't have to deal with each other on that level. Matter of fact, most of us don't even want to deal with each other. So when it comes to Black people coming together for a certain cause, everyone has their own, oh, well, I want this side of it. I want this side of it. I want this side of it. instead of us coming together for a common cause that where everyone can benefit as a whole, everyone has their own, they need this out of it. They need this out of it. They need this out of it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was us now and what we know now, none of us is selling our house. We don't care how much it is. And there's no way I'm about to give up where I stay at. It's already paid off. All I got to do is pay taxes on it every year. But if you look at other movements, other nationalities, when their children grow up, a lot of them get left with businesses. A lot of them get left with life insurance. Because that's how a lot of them come up on money. With us, we don't get left with nothing. We have to start over from ground zero. We have to kind of, we really gotta throw the older generation, you know, they doing this and they renting again, because we have to look at how things are now. In 2021, it's more of us owning homes like per capita of all other races. We're not really in a bad situation. Like you said, Sancho, we just have to re-educate ourselves. But like I said earlier, all of us got a computer at our hand. If we really want to go own something, we can go own it if we really want to. Really, we're the only ones that's stopping ourselves.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Definitely. I agree with you. And meaning we have work. We have work to do. If I want to be broke and homeless, I can be broke and homeless on the street right now. If I want to be in the NBA right now, I'll go outside and dribble that ball until I'm Kobe. There's honestly, right now where we're at, yes, there's racism in the system, but honestly, we can really be where we want to be at this point. Mm-hmm. Even financially. If you want to be a software programmer, go to school to be a software programmer. You might not start off in the industry as the highest paid software programmer, but you can go be that. When I go on Indeed every day, it's job openings everywhere. It's economic, you know, choices everywhere. So in the real estate game, honestly, Sancho, if you really wanted to go buy a house tomorrow, you could.
Let's go.
No, nobody, right? Honestly, Sancho, if you got a job and you got 2 or 3 years worth of taxes, you can get a house tomorrow. Now you might not get the house that you want to get, but they can't stop you from getting no house. The very first house that I bought, it wasn't my dream house. Matter of fact, I hated it. But I had to get out of the rent game. It was something I dealt with for a little bit until I leveled up and got to what I wanted. So, I mean, nothing's stopping you from getting into that market. Real estate is the best market to where it's tangible. You can step outside your door and touch your house. Hell, you got systems now like Airbnb to where you can make money off your house and that'll pay your mortgage.
And you could live right in it too. You could live in that mug. I know people that do it every day. It's kind of
that's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
You got systems right now that you can make money off of it. Matter of fact, even though it's a white company, the Uber and Lyft game that killed the taxi industry. You know, the Italians are mad because the taxi industry is gone because you got Lyft and Uber. You got Airbnb.
And they're trying to set up laws against it and to regulate a lot of Uber drivers and everything. Because, you know, I do Uber and I went through some issues and stuff like that, you know, and a lot of things changed compared to when it first started, because, you know, they start to see certain groups of people was getting into Uber and all that. So they tried to block. But with a lot of things that you're saying has a lot of factual information and makes a lot of sense and everything. It makes a lot of sense.
Look,
and I really like what you're saying and everything, because we definitely need to have that optimism and, you know, that aggression in reference to get into, you know, our goals and what we want and everything. So Larry, continue to kick more. I'm listening.
Just like I remember 2 years ago, I had got off the plane. I think I had went out to like Nebraska or something for a job or something. The taxi cab business had got so volatile and so mad at Uber and Lyft, they told Uber and Lyft they couldn't pick nobody up from the airport. That's how bad it got. The unions, you know who run the unions? The Italians, the Irish, all of the Jenny Hoffers of the world. They run the unions. I'm glad you said that, Mimi. This technology, this money, there's no excuse to why we can't make no money. You can go buy a hole in the right now. Miami is a top travel destination. You saw what Miami did for spring break this year. Probably about 20,000 people caught COVID, but people still went to Miami. If you own a little rundown house in Miami right now, fix it up a little bit, and you Airbnb it out, you could probably get $200-300 a day. And that's going to more than cover your mortgage and put money in your pocket. You can get a rundown house. So it's really nothing that we can't do, honestly. You just have to be content to maybe live a substandard lifestyle for a little bit. You know, I lived substandard for about 2-3 years until I got what I wanted. You know, I had to build up to it. I know Anaya like to always say I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire yet. I wish I was. But, you know, I don't even have the $1 million house that I want, but I'm still continuously building up to it. You know, passive income is the key. That's why I mentioned like Airbnb, you know, the Ubers, they got some other programs out there. I think they call it Toro, where you can lease out the high dollar cars and make money off of that or something. They got all type of stuff out here now. You can go lease a Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to put $1,500 down, but you can charge $1,000 a day. They got tech programs like that now. Yeah. So I mean, it's really nothing we can do. It's nothing we can't do. Let me say that. It's nothing we can't do. We just have to get out here, look on the internet, and you know, you can type in Google, how do you do this? How do you do this? And it'll take you to several links on several sites to show you how to do this. Even with the investing. If you need to know what the next best thing is, bam, type in this, this, and this. Just like you told me, Sancha, you told me about the Ethereum that was under $1. Because that's something you went and looked up. I didn't even know that, but she went and looked it up. She done jumped on something I ain't even, now I got to go jump on it because she put me on. So it's really nothing we can't do. Yeah. We got access to everything.
There you have it, folks. Hold on, hold that thought, Larry. Mimi is back with us. Mimi said she was leaving and she was coming back. I hope everybody's feeling the great energy tonight. I'm loving it because there will be homework. There will be homework. Larry, keep rolling your eyes. I see you, Larry.
No, I ain't do no.
Oh, okay, praise God.
I'm waiting for David to tap in. You know, I gotta
wait, y'all gonna get some homework. Where's Mimi? Let's talk to Mimi real quick. She had some great information earlier, unless she already shared what she shared.
Hi, guys.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, Mimi.
Hi, Mimi.
Thanks. Kate, you know, I think a lot of great points were brought up and I'm excited, you know, just remember guys, like we're all pioneers in this. Anyone getting involved in these market, like we're still early adapters. So let's play our cards right, position ourselves well, and hopefully in the next couple of years be generating millions of dollars in profit together.
Together, key word. We need to build together, grow together.
I got a question for Mimi. Hey, Mimi, since you were into the, artificial intelligence and you kind of know that market. I don't know it, but you know it. What's the next big thing for us to invest in? If I was to get off this call right now, what should I go invest in? What's your personal opinion?
She is not an advisor for those that are watching. Do not.
Yeah, thanks, Anaya. I was just about to say, I am not a financial advisor. What I've been using for the last couple of years is a fully automated bot that trades in the market 24/7. What's great about crypto that's different from all the other markets is traded 24/7. So I do have access to this technology. I would be more than happy to show you, what it looks like and how it works. But we're seeing crazy results, at least 70% per month. And I wholeheartedly stand behind this technology. I truly believe we're moving into three major key spaces, I guess, with tech in the next 5 years. So that being 1, artificial intelligence, 2, blockchain technology, and 3, virtual spaces. So find your niche, create something within that, and market it. Introduce people to it. The more communities, the more groups, more discussions we have like this that push the boundaries, that kind of, help to bring awareness to others, because we're all doing this together, the more people will impact. And, at the end of the day, so many people are like, they have access to the information. Just like you said, they want to go do it, they can go do it. It's just, there's so much more emotions involved, I think, now more than ever. And the markets don't care about our emotions. So that's why I trust artificial intelligence. I trust automation. I've seen it work not only for myself, but for my team. And this is what the future holds. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Mimi.
That was cool.
That was cool. All right, listen, guys and dolls, we're already at 9:01. I would love for everybody to say a closing word, but before we do, let's have this as homework real quick, because everybody's now feeling the energy. There's nothing that's impossible for any of us, as we know. I did have to make a couple of shout outs, and then we're going to shut it down and everybody gets a minute or two to say their closing thoughts and the homework. So real quick, I have a huge book in front of me by the one and only Dr. Umar Johnson. Yesterday was an honor to bring Dr. Umar Johnson to Brooklyn for Haitian Flag Day. And Larry and I discussed this just a little bit ago before we started and kicked off, that I would share a little bit that, it starts with the youth, right? And Dr. Umar Johnson is a very controversial leader figure in our communities. As many people know, he's a Pan-Africanist, and a lot of our communities, try to stay away from him, but you can't stay away from him because he's talking the truth. Everything he says is the truth. So I believe David, said it earlier, if I'm not mistaken, about, the youth, or was it Sancha, that we need to have the youth involved. That is something, yes, it was David. That is something that I desperately have been trying to push, to get the youth involved in our conversations, because once you train a child up right, there is no way they're going to depart. That's in the Bible, but that's a factor of life. If anybody knows anything about training, especially in children, animals, etc., once you get something in somebody's mind, you cannot change their mind. Whatever they know is what they're going to grow towards and develop within themselves each and every day. So the bottom line is this: Dr. Umar Johnson did a great job speaking to our communities yesterday, but he will be back in our town in New York City and Brooklyn, etc. But I wanted to say that to say, as a people, we should do better in communication with the youth. Whatever you all know as adults, when it comes to finances, when it comes to wealth building, etc., talk to the young children. Try to help educate them. One of the things that I try to do is I try to share with parents, especially because I'm not a mom yet. I'm a fur baby mom because my dog is my child or whatever. But whatever. I try to share with the adults that have children and stuff, like, teach your child that they can build a game. They don't have to be gamers all their lives. They don't have to be playing these games like Nintendo, PS, whatever the hell. They can actually help develop and create things and get, the residual and the investment from that, or what have you, because they're helping develop something. Teach them to draw a Nike symbol on a new shoe or something. Teach them branding. Teach them something. Teach them production, so they don't have to watch, YouTube all day. They could become the producers of a platform, a show, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, you as the leader, as the mother, the father, the parent, the guardian, or whatever, you have the full responsibility to make that child a better person in the future. So I wanted to share that this evening with all of you, but also let you all close out with any last remarks, because we are doing this together. And for homework, it's just basically, learn to invest in what we've been discussing, whether it's Coinbase, whether it's Robinhood. Look into those different platforms. Remember what we've been talking about this evening. You don't have to remember everything verbatim because it's a lot of information. However, if you need more information or if you want to be tapped in to our base, our number on WhatsApp is 347-617-6873. Again, 347-617-6873. We have a lovely little team on WhatsApp that is available to all of you 24/7, but don't bother us at 4:00 in the morning. Just wait until 8:00 when people are predominantly back up. Last but not least, I love each and every one of you, and I'm so excited about the future. Now that I'm back in New York and things are pretty sedimentary, we will have our regular scheduled programs and it won't be so crazy and choppy. And let's have more lines of communication. This week also for homework, Mimi, Sancha, Larry, those that know different things about this investment gamut, please do me a favor, send some information in our WhatsApp chat if you can, because there's a lot of people that look and watch, but don't get involved right now. And that's okay. Everything happens for, in its season. And the very last word, let's look into properties this week. How do we become, community leaders and buy properties together? So I'll be doing my part with that investment tip, and talking to some real estate people. Like Larry was talking about, his father owning, half of Opalaka. How did he do that? How did his father do that? He went and researched some communities that were pretty downtrodden, that didn't look really good, but that value is the property itself. That foundation is what we're looking at. And I want to say this too, and then I'm going to give it to Larry. Somebody that I'm very close with here in New York City, there's this group called the HCCI, which is the Harlem Congregational something or the other. I will send it in our group message. I did a course with them in regards to real estate and buying property here in New York. I'm going to drop that link because the leader of that, Reverend Charles Butler, did exactly what Larry stated and was talking about when it comes to investment. He went and bought land and properties that nobody in their right mind would buy, and now that property is worth millions. So Larry, go ahead, and then I want David to speak, and then the rest of the females, and then we're out.
So yeah, so pretty much it don't matter where you're located, every community has a city hall where you can go and look up tax delinquent properties. That's also what my dad did too. So there's a lot of properties, believe it or not, in Miami, in the great city of Miami, that might only, you can go there right now for $6,000 and go get a house, because all you're doing is paying the taxes on it.
And New York too.
I don't know if it's as cheap as I don't know if New York is as cheap as Miami.
It's not as cheap, but it's available for us too to look into.
Right. So you can go and look up any tax delinquent, and it might be up there with me in Canada too. We might got to come up there to Quebec, Toronto or something. We might got to come across that border. I'm coming to Drake's OVO Fest. But look, so anywhere that you go, it's got a tax delinquent list, right? So you can always go on that tax delinquent list and be like, okay, there's this 10-bedroom house. You only got to pay $20,000. That's the taxes owed on the house. The house is yours once you pay the taxes. So that's it too. Yeah, tax delinquent properties, right? So those tax delinquent properties, you can go in any city, any community has them. But I just wanted to say that. But just to close out, if you want to reach me, you can reach me on Facebook at LA Robinson, like it says on the screen, or on Instagram at livinglegend_745. Thank y'all.
Cool.
Like I said last week when I first got into this call, I mentioned that I work with young people a lot through my community organizer position. I put that upon me to make sure that my young people are not left behind. And we do a lot of work with them. And that's my next project, making sure that our young people are aware of what's going on. And technology is theirs. Definitely, we know that. Technology is theirs. So make it work, or make it work for their profit. And use whatever knowledge that I'm getting from all of you, and share with them what I've learned, and make sure that we are raising millionaires, billionaires, before they get to the adulthood. Because what I'm learning now, have I've learned them when I was 20, even 30, it would be awesome for me. But it was a different story. But at the same time, it's not too late to do what's great. That's what we always say, right? So I will pass along through my young people whatever that I've learned, and that's a promise. And there was one thing that I was talking to my young 14-year-old during the week, right? And I talked so much investment in her ear, and someone gave her $100. She came to me and then she said, "Mommy, can you invest $100 for me?" So that was that, that felt great when she said that. I said, "Sure, I take that $100 and I'm gonna invest it for her, and make sure that she gets what she gets from that $100."
Oh, that's amazing, Sancha.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, that's
ma'am.
awesome.
Great story. Thank you. Thank you, Sancha. Let the people know where they can find you, my sister.
On Facebook at Sancha Etienne. I can also sancha@baji.org. That's the email for my community organizer work. I don't have Instagram. Sorry.
No problem. I love you. Well, we have to get your youth with us next week. Maybe we could talk to your daughter sometime soon to see how her investments are going. How about that?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Awesome. Mimi, what do you have to
But
say?
yeah, thank you, Mimi. Thank you so much, Mimi, for all your knowledge that you dropped tonight. I learned a lot. Mr. Robinson, thank you so much. I learned so much. Everybody, Dave, everybody that's on,
Thank you,
on that.
Sancha.
Love
You're
it. I love
welcome.
this piece. I love it. I love it.
I learned from each and every one of you something tonight.
Thank you. And I learn from you all the time, Sancha. You're the best. I love it. All right, Mimi.
Okay, guys, so happy to be here. I'm glad I was able to come back on and catch you guys. What can I say? It was a great meeting. Definitely a really good one. Happy to be here. A lot of great opportunity. And yeah, I don't really have much to say. You guys can find me. You can find me on Facebook, Positive Mental Attitude. You're free to text me to my direct line anytime. My number is 1-905-399-4657. And yeah, you can call me directly, get in touch with me directly. I don't mind. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm amped for this time, for this group, for all of us. And yeah, there's so much to say, but you know, we'll continue to discuss as the time progresses. Sancha, your story about your daughter getting that money and wanting to invest, I think it's amazing, and she's really lucky to have you to be leading her from the front. So yeah. Thanks, Anaya, for having me tonight.
Thank you, Mimi.
Always, always. And I think
Cool.
everybody has gone.
Thank you, Mimi.
I love this group.
Uh-huh.
David, you already went, right? You already gave your closing remarks?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Go ahead, my dear.
Well, what I want to say is I just want to reiterate a theme with what Larry said earlier. He said that, you know, there's nothing that we cannot do. And we need to really understand that. And we also need to understand, like, you know, there's also with the things that we do and we have to be aware of the obstacles and things that goes against us. Like, for an example, you know, this year marks a 100-year anniversary memorial for the Black Wall Street destruction of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And with that community, you know, they thrived. They accomplished so much, but there was like a lot of opposition. There was like a lot of racist people. There was like a lot of people that was like against like what they was doing. And we have to be aware of the same things that we're doing today, that there's obstacles, you know. Sometimes it's not even just about, you know, the white supremacists or the white supremacists. We have to worry about the black white supremacists, which can be the political coons, the political mammies, and the political bedwenches. We have to like be aware of that's, you know, out to like, you know, destroy us. That's not, you know, for our best interests. So we have to be aware of those type of things. And also want to say, like, there's a movie called The Banker with Anthony Mackie and Samuel Jackson. And this goes back to what
Great
Larry...
movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
They went to Texas and took over.
Remember the scene of when the white tenant came in and started complaining?
The white lady, and she didn't know he owned the building.
She didn't know he owned the building. She was trying to like talk to him in a condescending way and tone when she found out that he was the owner of the building. What she did, she moved her ass out. And that shows power right there. And that's what we need to do and what we need to have. We need to own land. We need to own property so that we can have power. So I really agree with what you was talking about earlier, and it resonated in my spirit, saying that there's nothing in this world that we cannot do. But we have to like definitely be aware of like, you know, the dangers and the opposition. And, you know, there's a saying that God bless a child that has his own, but there's also an addition to it. God bless the child that has his own and can keep. So we have to maintain with what we have. We have to maintain about working together, being with like-minded people, not being with people who are pessimistic or trying to oppose with what we're trying to do, always be negative. So we have to like continue to like, you know, grow our community with people who are functional and productive, not destructive people. So I definitely, you know, thank everybody for being out here today and being able to like, you know, kick knowledge and gems and things of that nature, because it's something that we really need. We definitely need it. And I'm looking forward to doing more of this with y'all.
That was so beautifully said, David. Thank you. And last but not least, Brianna will be joining us soon. She wants to invest in buying up the block. And then also Cherry. I saw Cherry yesterday. She's everywhere. I love her. She's going to be back with us again. She's very interested in rejoining us. She just had issues with her phone. You know, guys, tonight was so empowering because I feel like we're getting closer to getting this thing together when it comes to land ownership, business ownership, just overall just empowerment. And that's what's so exciting. And in regards to, you know, when we own things and how, you know, white people like move out once they see we own things and things like you're just sharing, David. I had a very great story, but I can't recall it right now. But either way, let's just do our best, however that looks. Let's stop losing. Let's be winners. And let's end up being multi-billionaires. And just to let you guys know, it's not like this thing, but it is a thing for me to be a multi-billionaire before I die, OMG, just so I can say that I accomplished it. I know I'm a nerd, but hey, why not have big dreams and goals? I'm just saying. All right, guys, well, we did it tonight. And for homework, again, learn this Coinbase, Robinhood, if you already are not on it. Remember, when you invest today, you really get a return tomorrow. Let's look into land ownership and what that looks like as a community. Let's talk to Larry's father. Maybe Larry's father will be a guest soon and sit with us and talk with us and lead us into this thing. How about that, Larry?
What is his name, Larry?
It's probably Larry.
His name is Larry Robinson.
I figured it out. I said
Oh.
it's probably Larry.
Yeah, it's Larry Robinson. I'm a junior.
So can you have a conversation with your pops and ask him to sit with us and talk with us?
Yeah, I have a conversation with him. You know,
All right.
I'm gonna see if he on the golf course with his buddy though.
I bet.
My dad. You know, I don't want to bash him online, but my dad is a major Trump supporter.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord have mercy.
You know, my dad one of them. You know, he a black Republican.
You did
So,
say
you know.
that, but you know what? I've learned not to bash our Black Republics. I call them the Repubs. I've learned not to bash them because apparently we need the Repubs in every culture in that crowd. So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
Well, Democrats and Republicans is mainly the same thing, you know, if you really think
politics
about it.
is politics, so we're not going to get into that portion tonight. We'll save that for next week. But talk to Pops, let him know we would love for him to be a special guest because he seems like he got it together, and we're not going to hold it against him that he loves Trump. I mean, whatever.
No, it's not that. You know, my dad is one of those. You know, I don't like to put people in a box, but have you ever met like older people from a certain generation? They know the secrets, but they don't want to tell the young people.
I will fight your daddy. Tell him we're gonna find out today. This Brooklyn night is gonna come to Texas or wherever he at. He better tell us some secrets.
Man,
listen.
They don't want to pass. They don't want to pass it on.
They don't want to pass it. My dad, one of them people. Listen, my dad watched me struggle. I'm like, listen.
But look, it made you a better person, but we don't want all the secrets, Pops. Listen.
No, I want all the secrets. I want all the secrets.
Well, tell him we want to talk to him, and we won't do a lot. We will do a little bit.
I'm gonna try to see if I can get him on here. I'm gonna try to see. He not big on the camera, but I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna try to see.
Well, look, he don't have to be on the camera. He could be a voice. How about that? A voice for the voiceless.
I'll talk to him.
Talk to him. Because he got a lot of knowledge.
I'll try to see next time if we all live in Florida. I'll take you to one of his little shanty houses that he making like $2,000 a month off of.
That is crazy. Well, you know what? That's the investment game. And you know what? We all have to learn it, and we have to become successful as well. So let's have a conversation with him. With that being said, hey, welcome Art by Fletcher. You just joined us, but every week we're here live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Economic Crisis Initiative. Guys, be successful this week. Do great things. Let's stay in touch via WhatsApp. You already have that number, 347-617-6873. Let's continue to be amazing in everything we do. I will talk to you guys later. If you need me for any reason, hit me up. I'll be around for a little bit. And I guess that's all for now. See you guys soon. Thanks,
Peace,
guys.
family. Peace,
Peace.
family.
You guys
Peace,
are
y'all.
amazing. Thank you, guys.